What's up, Sneakerholics? It's your boy Slim Beezy, bringing you the first season, episode 1 of the Soul Debaters. And I'm in here with the best team you could ever have. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
It's your dog, TENCITYJD. Nice, shit.
Damn, FATBOYCLEANSNEAKS.
Yo, this BRAZYKICCZ over here. Got you in the background.
Oh, shit.
So we the Soul Debaters, man. We're gonna talk about some subjects that might be low controversy or might not, but you know, it's whatever. But first we're gonna talk about let's talk about these re-releases of these FOGs that they dropped in.
Which one?
The light bone and the ones you got and the light bone drop.
The light bones just dropped for the first time this weekend, and then I think they're gonna do a global release on like the 19th.
Yeah, they dropped yesterday. Then they're doing another one on the 19th. Then the black ones they drop again on the 19th again. But we want to talk about everybody who thought them shits was ugly, and now everybody want to grab a pair now.
Nah, nobody I know. I don't know nobody like that.
I can't lie to
I was one of.
I think the light bones look way better than the black ones.
I'm think too.
Light bones is dope. I think the only thing that bothers me about the light bone is, you know, after like a lot of the research and they're trying to figure out what they were trying to do with the sneaker, they said that whenever they went with the leather upper, that the people that they tested it on found the shoes to be way too hot, like way too hot. So they scrapped the leather design and went with the mesh upper, and those same people were saying that it was much more comfortable. So like, I agree, like the light bone pairs look good, and I see that leather, and it looks like it's probably not going to be a shoe, especially where we live in the South. It'd probably be a pretty hard shoe, you know, to wear, you know, come May and June and July. Damn feet gonna have buckets of sweat in the bottom of them. So they'll look good, but I just question the functionality of them.
Hey, does anybody know, are they going to do the same thing with the light bone that they did with the black one, where they had two different shoes, you know, like they had two versions of the black one? Are they going to do the same thing with the white?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they got right. Matter of fact, on all the releases, they got all of them. They got the two black ones and the two light bone ones. On SNS, SNS got like 3 of them. They got the two light bones and that new what was the shoot around? The shoot around,
yeah,
black
yeah, the warm up shoe or whatever.
Now see, that's the shit. You see that right there? He's stunting.
That's not necessary. You had to do that.
That wasn't
no, but like, but real talk. But like, what I was kind of saying was like, you kind of see like all of this is mesh. Like all of this is mesh. This is gonna end up being leather, and you see on the toe cap, all that's gonna be, all this is suede. You know, so your foot is not really going to be able to breathe very much in that leather. That's the only thing that bothers me. But I've seen them, and they dope though. I'm not gonna lie, like I like that colorway a lot, but I don't think they could have gotten the same look with the mesh on the light bone, and it would have gone as hard in my opinion. So I understand why they did it. The only gripe I really got with the black shoe, I wish the bottoms was actually white instead of like that. I don't know if you would call that sail or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I think they try to overdo it with all that sail. Everything.
Yeah, I can't lie. That shoe, I was out. Like when I saw it, I wasn't feeling it at all. When I saw like it's kind of funny, and then I was like, oh, is this actually going to be a basketball shoe? Like, because you know that's what matters to me. Like I feel like if it's going to be a basketball shoe, it doesn't even really count to me unless you could actually hoop in the shoe. And then like I saw PJ with the shoe on, and I was like, okay, maybe you can hoop in it. But then once I actually saw it in hand, like once I actually saw the pair you got right there in hand, that kind of changed my mind about the shoe, looking at the material and everything. And I think looking at the colors from what I see on the light bone one, I think I probably feel even more so that way. I still don't know if I could wear it personally myself, but I still think it's a dope shoe.
Yeah. The shoot around pairs. At first, I thought I liked the shoot around pairs better. Like literally, like what Jerry was really doing with that shoe, like it is definitely a basketball shoe. Like I think they just had a Drew League tournament yesterday, and all of the players were either wearing black or the light bone pair, and everybody balled them. So it's definitely a balling shoe. And then the other shoe is not as performance oriented. And at first I thought I liked that more because it wasn't as busy. Like the basketball shoe is busy. Like there's a lot of stuff going on that shoe between the cage, the zipper in the back, the way it laces. It's a real busy shoe. But like I remember we was talking about it. I was one of the people that I was completely out on the shoe. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I was like, I don't see it. And then I got lucky enough to hit on sneakers, and I was like, oh, well, I'm just gonna flip because I wanted a pair of Unions. But then when I got it in hand and doing all of that reading and researching about what Jerry was going for, the unboxing of that shoe, man. Like if any of y'all, hit on the shoe, or if you guys hit on it in the future, you're gonna be very impressed with like how that box is presented. Like the box is massive first. I can't even put it with my other boxes, but it's just a well done shoe, man. You can, like when you eat and people say, oh, I can taste the love in it. Like when you have that shoe in your hand, I think Brazy, you probably hit on it earlier. Like when that shoe is actually in your hand, you can feel the love and the passion that man put in that shoe. Like he definitely accomplished his mission. And once I saw it that way, it wasn't a look thing. It was just kind of like the story behind it. I can get with it.
Okay. So with that being said, so you got some people like sneakerheads. They come in and you might look at a sneakerhead a different way than when you look at a hype beast. So getting into the subject, what would you rate like the sneakerhead versus a hype beast type of thing? Like, is that a hype shoe or whatnot?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because it's a new silhouette. You know what I mean? So, a lot of like sneakerheads, like when you think shoes that people like sneakerheads to go after, like, my shoe was a Concord 11. And a lot of people say that's kind of a hype beast shoe, but that's just a shoe I grew up really wanting and seeing my favorite player playing. In Space Jam, because it's an older shoe, it has a story, it has something to it. I mean, that shoe's been around since '95. So for sneakerheads, before sneakers was like, I don't want to say fashionable. You got a lot of people out here that's gentrifying it, but like it's a shoe that had a story building up to it. So when you got like a Fear God 1 that's like completely brand new, I think a lot of hype comes into it because people gonna say, all right, well, is it limited? Oh, okay. It's gonna be hard to get. Oh, okay. You know what that means? What's that? That it's gonna be a big flip. So I think a lot of people that were trying to grab the shoe, and I was one of them. I'm being guilty of this. Like I was one of them. I was like, I'm just getting the shoe to flip. And it wasn't until I got the shoe in my hand that I was like, all right, these are dope. And it's a shoe that's gonna have to kind of build a legacy on its own. So I think, even though I have a pair and and I'm guilty of it, I think the shoe right now, I think is definitely more of a hype beast shoe than a sneakerhead shoe, in my opinion. That's saying that somebody that has them.
So when you think like hype beast, they running for everything that's gonna be limited. Like you think it's something like, okay, for instance, like if we take it back a few years ago when you couldn't just walk into the store and pick up any kind of Jordan. And right. was back then, did it feel better to be a Jordan head or a sneaker head back then or now when you can just walk in the store and grab any pair, damn near any pair you want? Like
I don't know. Like I'm more of a newbie to I've always loved sneakers, but I haven't been able in my life to start acquiring sneakers until like literally like over the last few years. Like for me, it started with the 7210 11 was like the first retro, latest retro I was able to get. So I'm not really able to identify. Like Brazy can probably speak more to this because he's been able to acquire some of these sneakers for a longer period of time than I know I have, and I know you have too, Sneakholic. But I don't know. I can't really tell. Like I wasn't able to be a part of that culture back then, where getting a pair of 11s, took like an act of God, or like getting up in the morning. Like I don't remember people. I've never been in a situation where I've seen people rushing the mall to get a shoe. So I don't know anything about that.
Well, I mean, okay. I as far as the sneakerhead versus the hype beast thing, I think the like the hype beast thing is just about the hype. That's it, you know. Like what's the hype surrounding the shoe? And I think like really this past year, like 2018, we saw a lot of shoes get a lot of hype put behind them, and then once they came out, they sat on the shelves. You know,
Yep.
and there was a bunch of shoes that came out, and we thought, man, that shoe's going to be hard to get. It's going to be a really hard cop. You know, nobody's going to have it. And then they just, you know, they released in a whole bunch of numbers, and so they sat on the shelves. So personally, to me, like those Fear of Gods, I would say, yeah, it'll be considered a hype beast shoe. But really, what we're talking about when it comes to the hype is just the availability. That's it. I couldn't consider the Concords a hype shoe because I mean I can get a pair of Concords right now for not that much more than retail, you know, at a number of different places. You know, now if I wanted to get a pair of Fear of Gods, how much is that going to cost me?
A
You know,
lot.
right? And I think that's what makes a shoe a hype beast shoe is the flex aspect. You know, is the man. If I put these shoes on and I go somewhere where there's some sneakerheads, how much of a flex is this going to be, you know, quote unquote, where people are going to be like, oh man, how'd you get those? Where, where'd you get them from? People will see somebody wear a pair of shoes on that they know, like whether they have a pair of off-whites on or whether they have a pair of, shoes that dropped in limited quantities or something like that. And I can only speak for myself. If I see somebody with a pair of those kicks on, in the back of my mind, I'm not going to ask them unless it's like a personal friend of mine. But in the back of my mind, I'm wondering, man, did they get those for retail? Did they get those on the drop, or did they cough up that bread and spend double, sometimes triple, sometimes quadruple the retail price for that shoe? You know, and I think that's what makes it hype. Now, if you're that person that only wants the shoes that are like that, does that make you a hype beast? I don't know. That's up for debate. I don't know. I think people just like stuff that's hard to get. I don't know if that makes you a hype beast.
And now, like back then, anytime like you would miss out on a release if you would sleep too long, you slept too long, you didn't get in line, you would miss out on a bunch of releases or whatever. And I feel like back then, the hype beast and the sneakerhead was kind of like, borderline. But now it's kind of like, do you get called a hype beast because you want that feeling back? Sometimes as a sneakerhead, you always wanted to walk into a room full of sneakerheads and you be that one guy that's not the same as everybody in the room. Now the only way you could do that, you gotta wait for some FOGs or some off-whites or something like that, and then people be like, oh, you was a hype beast. But I'm not a hype beast. It was like this like 4-5 years ago. But now y'all put so much quantities out there. I just be that dude that everybody looks at my feet and be like, oh, look what he got. Instead of like just buying some GR stuff and then just like, yeah, I just caught what I like. That's cool too, caught what you like. There's nothing wrong with that. But then still, I think every sneakerhead has an inner hype beast inside of them as well.
I think a big part of the culture is people want to separate themselves, man. And it's kind of hard to separate yourself when there's, 2.5 million pairs of Concords, out there. It's real hard to differentiate yourself when you're doing that. Like we were out to eat last night and I saw a dude with a 2011 pair of Concords on and I got hyped. Now we go, to another spot and I see a dude in the Concords that just dropped. I ain't even react. I ain't react at all. I was like, oh, word. Same shoe, you know what I mean? But just like, it was just something different about it. Like, I was like, the ones I got, I remember people getting beat up for, like there wasn't as many. Like the ones you got on, you was probably able to just walk right into the mall, pick them up and keep it moving. And I was like, I don't know, for me, like I do like the stand apart. And if that makes me a hype beast, I guess that's cool. I mean, like, I really don't care what people's judgment is, but like, I agree. Like when I walk into a room, like me and Ten City was at Chick-fil-A last night. And like I knew what was gonna happen. I saw a dude come in, he had some Sesame Yeezys on, I can kind of see he had that vibe, like, oh, I got some Yeezys. I got my Yeezys on. And I was like, this dude about to get flexed on real hard when I get up out of this booth because I had my fogs on and I got up and I ain't gonna lie, like I stunted on dude a little bit. I still where that nigga can see me, man. I was like, man, let me, let me stand right here. You know, and bro like looked down and he looked at his homeboy and he was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, like dude, he got the fear of gods on. Oh my god, bro, like oh my god." And I was kind of like, I mean, whatever. And I was like, for me, and it doesn't have to be like an expensive shoe, like fear of God, like retail was expensive. It was a $350 shoe, but retail, it fluctuated anywhere between 700 and 1,000. Like, I don't think the price of the shoe necessarily makes it hype. Like I remember, Brazy, when I first met Brazy, he used to always talk about Piston Sixes, like Piston Sixes, a shoe I ain't never heard of before. Like I was like, a Piston Six, like he had to show me a picture. To me, like if I saw somebody with a pair of Piston Sixes on, to me that's actually a bigger flex than walking in with a pair of Fear of Gods, in my opinion. So like I don't know where that puts me not as far as like a sneakerhead or a hype beast, but I just think it's about having a shoe that nobody else really has. Unfortunately, in order to do that nowadays, you got to get a Off-White, you got to get a Fear of God, something like that to do that, or some kind of collaboration like a Kith shoe, a Cause shoe. I know PSNY, they haven't done as much lately, but I feel like nowadays, the only way you can really separate yourself is by getting something like a Fog or or Off-White.
I would have to disagree with that as far as being able to separate yourself. I think you can separate yourself nowadays, especially if you get just something limited. It doesn't have to be, like now Off-White, everything is, of course, what somebody wants to have, or even like Yeezys, whatever, certain Yeezys, if you want to get a pair of those, like if you want to get a pair of blue tints or belugas or whatever, you know what I mean? That's going to be a shoe that people consider hype. If you want to get a pair of Witherspoons, something like that, you know what I mean? It's hard for people to get those. So once again, that's going to be considered a hype shoe. But man, if I see somebody with a pair of like DB8s on, or if I see somebody with a pair of shoes that came out like a while ago, that there just aren't that many of them available, that there just aren't that many left, and they got a fresh pair on, that's a flex to me. But I don't necessarily consider that person a hype beast, just because they have them on. I think just like B said, man, back in the day, I remember, growing up, man, I remember when the Jordans used to drop. I remember kids would leave school, go to the mall, get the J's, and then come back to school just so they could have the J's on, Or I remember like that one kid, and I wasn't that kid, you know what I'm saying? But I remember the kid who had the J's every single time they dropped. I remember the kid that had the new Air Maxes every single time they dropped. I remember when you waited until your favorite player got his own signature shoe, and it was all about, oh man, I got those Chris Webbers. Oh man, I got those Barkleys. Oh man, I got those Scottie Pippens. Whatever. And that's what was, that's what it was more about. It was more about like representing, like your player or your style or something like that. I think now it's kind of transitioned into now me being more about showing like wealth, like showing, yeah, I got a little bit of change. I can get me a pair of Off-Whites now, or I got a little bit of money, I can get such and such clothing brand to wear, because everybody that you're around, if they're a sneakerhead, they know that either you got really lucky and was able to cop those shoes on the drop, or you got a little bit of change and you was able to pay the resale. I think that's what it's more so about. It's more so just like people wear Gucci and like Louis Vuitton and Prada and all that. That's what I think these quote unquote hype shoes are like now, because you see these people who wear Gucci and Louis and all that. They'll be wearing all that and then have a pair of Off-Whites on. They'll be wearing all this expensive designer clothing, and they'll have a pair of J's on that's limited or that's like hard to get. I think that's what it's about. And that's about the money.
Yeah, but then people get categorized as a hype beast when they wearing like Supreme from head to toe, and then got some Yeezys on or some Off-White, and they could be considered a hype beast, but that's not hype. I mean, not saying they ain't, but just saying like, I know Supreme comes out in limited drops. I know these Off-Whites come in limited drops. I know the Yeezys used to come out in limited drops. So I wanted to be that guy to be, oh yeah, look at me. But then from the sneakerhead community, they look at you like, oh man, he's a hype beast. He only going for the hype stuff. But then in the same argument, if you was me, you would do the same thing. I could walk around with, just say, these off-white Air Max 90s coming out, right? You could turn around and try to get them. You miss, but then I'm walking around with them off-white 90s on with a Bait or Supreme, get up from the head to toe. I walk in the mall, first thing they're gonna say is he's a hype beast. But if you had the same opportunity as I to win them sneakers or probably hit on a Supreme shirt or something like that, they probably would take that same opportunity. That's why I feel. That's why I say every sneakerhead got a little bit of hype beast in them.
I mean, it sounds like what you're saying, and you know what? Like I agree with what you're saying. It sounds like to me, to put it simply, like, you know, yeah, maybe somebody's a hype beast if the only reason that they're wearing this stuff is because they think it's what's hype and that it's expensive and people can't get it. But maybe like out of 10 people with that same outfit on, only one of them is really a hype beast. And the other 9 people is just, hey, they got it. They was able to get it. So they, you know, so they want to rock it. You know what I mean? And then really calling them a hype beast is really you just hating because you couldn't get it. Or you mad because you ain't get them shoes and you would have rocked it a different way. Or whatever, man. I remember when those off-white Chicago's dropped, man. And I was very, very salty that day because I was on sneakers, like re-entering my like card information, the address, and like it wasn't working. Like, and I remember I went to the mall, like, I don't know, a couple of days later, man, and I saw some kid, he was like 15, and he was wearing the off-white Chicago's, bro. And I was like, and I was like that person. I literally, hey, my man, yo, like, yo, when you get those, like, you know, and like, I never do that. I'm like not that person. But I thought that shoe was so hot. I rolled up on this like teenager, like, hey, my man, when you get those, he's like, oh man, I got them all sneakers, man. I got them all sneakers, there's no problem. I just hit the button. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be them instances like that. Somebody hit just like this, and you'd be like, what? I just tried 4, 5 times, 6 times, put my information in. It kicked me out. I put my information back in. You try one time, hit the button, and the hell? You be thinking about, it's crazy like that, man.
So, you know.
I think them off-white, them Chicago's, I think that stopped time for like 15 minutes when that stopped. Everybody wanted them. Sneakerhead hype beasts alike.
I mean, I mean, honestly, that kind of like that kind of fueled my like passion for like being on top of like when stuff is going to release. You know, how I can find more ways to get a shoe that I want. Literally was the way that I felt when I was sitting there thumbing at my phone like crazy for like 15 minutes trying to get those off-white Chicago's. And I was like, man, I really just don't want to go through this anymore. So let me try to find some other way that I can, you know, get the shoes I want. I still don't have a pair, by the way, because I'm not about to spend like $2,500 for them. But, but
wait till that
you know,
come back.
I like the question I got too is like, I think everybody's definition, you know, I think it's different what everybody like they really want to flex with. Like I know 10 City, like he is obviously by 10 City, he loves 10s.
10s over here.
That's what that means. Okay.
Yeah, so so like I remember in talking with him, I don't know if I showed it to him first or whatever, because I remember seeing them, but the Steves, you know, the Steve 10s, like how many pairs did they make of those Wapo? What they make, like what, like 230 or something like that?
Like 230, 235, something like that.
Man,
you gotta show those for the people who don't know what he's talking about, man.
Man, I don't think he got them on deck, man. He got them on ice, man. They in the safe.
Yeah, man, I ain't got them on me. They're in the offsite, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're in the vault, but like his passion for 10s, like it wasn't that the shoe, like, because I don't think either one of us knew that there was only 230 pairs of them. So it had nothing to do with, oh man, they limited. Like it was, I like 10s and these go hard. I gotta get my hands on these, you know. So like, but the weird thing is like we'll go to like a sneaker con, somebody he might have them on, and they might be like, look at him. He probably paid $1,000 for a pair of 10s. You know, it's like, no, I didn't pay that much, but like I bought these because I legit rock with tens and I wanted these. So like I guess like for me, like Ten City, like how did you feel when you actually got that shoe though?
Man, like I could be dead up with you, like, boy, and I get them 10, them steel
Woo,
wheels, bro.
woo.
Like the whole world has stopped, like everything but knowing me. I really jumped through the roof and all types of jumps for real, dog. Like straight out yellow beezy. So on me, baby. Cutting up, boy. Oh man, but like I really, really like I love tens. Like all jokes aside, like you can't steer me from tens for nothing. Could be the ugliest damn tens. I'll probably buy them bitch and flex on you, but don't leave, man. This shit to stand out, man. For real, like, oh
Shout
man.
out to BRAZYKICCZ man, for the super chat. Much love, brother.
Oh, bro,
y'all
that's
boy.
Yeah, I
Oh,
just pulled up the chat over here on the side. Like I forgot this was even going on.
it about to get
Let
real.
me keep that. Let me keep that.
See what's going on, see?
So with your favorite shoe being the 11s, you didn't
Yeah.
think these new 11s that wasn't your cup of tea? I mean the Concords that just dropped compared to
to the older pair. All right, so I know I had like some heated. I wouldn't even say heated. I think that's being too much. But I've had some pretty interesting conversations with all you guys about like the leather, and I know, you know, the OG's the one that, you know, Michael actually wore had a higher cut, but like there was a time, so I'm guessing there was an 11 pair, and there was a pair that dropped before that too, was like a 0506 pair, and I just remember the leather being lower and always seeing that shoe. And whenever I saw what they were doing with that 18 pair and seeing the leather higher, some about it just didn't sit right with me. Like I didn't think it was an ugly shoe, and I still copped them. I ended up getting them. I sold them, but like I had them in hand, and it was a very, very clean. Like it was put together well. But my affinity for that specific shoe, like when I have that shoe in my hand, like it was literally different. I had both shoes in my hand. I had the 18 pair and I had the 11 pair. And it was just something about that 11 pair, man, that just stuck out more to me. It wasn't a bad shoe. It was a great shoe. But I just preferred the 11, like the 2011 release, way more than I did the one that just dropped.
I just think the 2018 pair is way better than the 2000. Now, I think that 45 on the back, if they stitch that, if they just do that from now on, it would be dope. But I just think the new pair was better than the 2011. But that's my opinion.
I mean, and to me, that's and that was like when I saw it in hand, the quality and all that was like bananas, man. Like they were crispy. I mean, the leather was nice. It was a dope shoe. It was a real dope shoe. But for me, right here,
man, here you go again. Here you go again, man.
This right here get me hype. Like this get me hype. Like that leather, like just like that, like this gets me hype, man. Like, and like I do enjoy like being able to get my son a pair. You know, seeing him with a pair, I really enjoyed that. So like I was glad they re-released them. And it's not to say I won't get another pair later, because I don't think you can. Me personally, I don't think you can have enough pairs of Concords. But like I was so busy like buying, you know, so many other different shoes that month. I was like, man, I'll just move these and I'll be able to catch back up on these later. But I'll probably end up with a pair. I don't really have any hate or any kind of, you know, any salt toward that shoe. I really prefer like the 2011 pair more than I preferred the 18s.
I mean, I can't really speak, man. I'm not an 11s person, man. So I mean, I'm not saying I don't like any 11s. I know we had a debate for like months though before, because everybody knew that those Concords was dropping, you know, at the end of the year, and I know we debated for like months about the height of the leather, the height of the patent leather. Like it was a whole it's like a whole side discussion for people talking about the height of the patent leather on 11s. And I think that's like a big reason why some people like the 2018 more than the 2011. And then I went back and researched, and I always thought that the 2011 was actually closer to the original pair. But then when I go and look at it, I realized that the 2018 is actually closer as far as the construction of the shoe to the original ones that came out back in the day. You know, and I think that might be why there's a lot of people who like 2018 a little bit more. But people will find some details in them that they think is just better or just turns them off. So like the height of the patent leather, that's whatever to me. One thing that just turns me off about them is the 45. I'm not feeling the 45 on the back. And I know that seems like something real small, like real trivial, but that like 23 means something to me. I don't know why.
Facts.
So what would you consider yourself, a sneakerhead or a hype beast?
Man, I mean, who you asking? Who you asking that question to?
I a damn hype beast. I can be honest with you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I a hype
Let
beast.
me hold on. Let
I
me
can't even lie.
man, let me take my Supreme hoodie off first, and then before I answer that question.
You have.
Man, I just like nice. I just like nice stuff, man. I mean, if something, if I think something is fresh, if I like it, man, I'm gonna rock it. And if that makes me guilty of being a hype beast, I guess you can just call me that, man. It doesn't really matter to me, man, because I feel like I'm that person that I feel like I was rocking with a lot of stuff before it got hot, like before it got hype. You know what I mean? So if I was rocking bait, you know, years and years and years ago, you know, but now if you wear a bait t-shirt, now you're a hype beast. What does that make me? You know what I'm saying? If I liked a bathing ape like a long time ago, before people were even saying bait when it was a bathing ape, does that make me a hype beast now that I still like it? If I knew about Supreme when it was just like some really like low key off-brand skate company that made some dope t-shirts with some dope designs, and that was always hot to me, but now I still rock it, does that make me a hype beast? Or am I a hype beast because I see everybody's wearing Supreme and they're wearing Bape and they're wearing Palace and they're wearing Off-White, and that stuff is, you know, and that stuff is expensive, and because of that reason I want it. You know, I think that would make me a hype beast. I don't think it makes me a hype beast because I rock with a brand and I like the stuff that they produce. You know,
Even if you just get put on the brand, a person still can't be called a hype beast. If I might not never like, I never seen Supreme or Bateman, and you come with that hoodie on, I'm like, oh damn, that's nice. But then I got to go through the hoops of trying to get Supreme, you know. So
I mean, like, it's for me, like, I would say I'm a hype beast, like, and I'm a come at it from a different standpoint. I'm a hype beast. Like, I get hype off of what I like. Like, I really don't like whatever a trend is. Like, I'm not really interested in that. Like, I'll see a shoe and I'll just know. I'm like, man, I gotta have that. Now, I'm not saying I'm always right, because the fear of God was one I was definitely wrong about. But by and large, like, I've just downsized my collection the other day by like 30%, and everything that's that I have, I'm like legit in love with. Like, I get hype about like what I have. You know, like for me, like a shoe that I'm surprised we haven't talked about, like the Soulfly 1, you know, the both of those that dropped, like for me, it wasn't like, okay, yeah, I see that it was, you know, $2,000 flip, but it ain't about that. Like, sometimes you just see a shoe or you see something, or, you know, if Brazy sees a Supreme hoodie, you know, that has a design that like triggers something that he remembers, like that, man, to me, like, if you want to call me a hype beast because I see something that I like and I go after it, honestly, I really don't care. Like, I think like JP said in the comments, man, I'm just a person that loves sneakers, man. If I see something I like, I'm gonna grab it. So, you know, whatever somebody's interpretation of me is because of that, that's fine. But I get fired up. Like, y'all know, like acronym anything, like sneakers. I can't afford their clothes. Like, I can't touch the clothes. But like the sneakers, like, I absolutely love those. I love those sneakers. So like when I'm walking around with a pair on, it's definitely not to be like, oh, I spent a lot of money on these. I got them because I really like them and I like how comfortable they are. You know, so I really don't. Personally, I don't care. As long as, you know, if I get a little flex off on them, then, you know, that makes it even better. But like, hype beast, sneakerhead. I don't think I've been in the game long enough to call myself a sneakerhead, to be honest with you. Like I know a few things, but like I feel like sneakerhead is almost like something that comes with like experience. Like when I think of sneakerhead, I do think of a Brazy, I think of a Bees, you know, a good buddy of mine, Terry. Like that cat at one point in time had 600 pair of shoes, and like this man was doing it back when it was about, you know, you couldn't really get on, like you couldn't get on StockX. You know, he just knew people in the mall. Like, you know, people hit him up, hey man, I got this. You know, this cat had he had 2 pairs of Galaxy phones. Like 2.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? Like at retail. Like what? How'd you get that? But like he bought those shoes because that's what he liked, because he liked phones. You know, that's what he had. And he kind of looks at us now. He sees like us young bucks, if you will, you know, just going out and grabbing shoes, and he kind of just like laughs at us now. He's kind of like, man, y'all boys. And I understand where he's coming from, but like I think a sneakerhead for me is somebody that's been doing this for a little bit, man. That's been around. Like you don't have knowledge of the game. A lot of us newbies out here, like we might like sneakers and we see something, we get excited. Like for me, like the Racer Pink, you know, acronym Prestos, like I saw them and I went nuts. And I think that's a hype beast shoe. Like I think it's a huge hype beast shoe. You know, the resale on it ain't that high, and a lot of people fell off on it because it didn't have the same flip as the Hot Lavas. Like people, oh, it's not a big flip, so the shoe ain't that. I'm like, no, that shoe's dope. You know, I bought all 3 of them, and I know, like, you know, like Brazy, he got them. He was like, oh yeah, these cool. These got to go though. Out. I got them, and I was like over the moon when I got them. Like y'all remember how excited I was when I got them things, man. So I don't know. Like I guess I have a little bit of both. Like I have a little bit of hype beast in me, because God knows I collected a lot of shoes in my imagination coming up. I had all of them, but I just didn't have them.
I mean,
I
is
think
that, you know, so that's a good question. Does that, you know, does like you having to have the shoes, is that what makes you a sneakerhead, or, you know, the shoes you've had coming up? Because I mean, to me, like, you know, there's definitely some kicks that I had growing up and things like that. You know what I mean? But I couldn't get, like, I just couldn't afford to get every single shoe that I wanted. But I personally feel like I'm a sneakerhead because I've always been like in tune with sneaker culture. I've always known like what shoe was hot. I've always, you know, kind of follow what was dropping. And there's been plenty of shoes that have come out, and whatever my situation was at the time, I may not have been able to get them, or like it didn't make sense. I don't think that makes me any less of a sneakerhead just because I wasn't able to get, like, man, I wish I could have had 2 pairs of Galaxy phones, you know, at the time. But I was definitely aware of that shoe, you know, when it dropped and everything, and wished I could get my hands on a pair, you know, at the time. I think I've always been a sneakerhead, probably since I was a little kid. I just think now I'm at a point in my life where I'm able to get more of the shoes that I want than I have been able to before. You know, I don't think it makes me more of a sneakerhead, you know, by being able to get it.
Right.
also with
Somebody,
the
did you see what 313 Queen asked? She said, what time period makes somebody a newbie in the sneaker game?
I say about a couple of years, to be honest.
Right.
Then it really depends on your time frame. It really depends on like what level you on, you know, because a lot of people just don't wake up and say, I want to be a sneakerhead, I want to buy sneakers. It's already in their mind or whatever. It's just that they don't move on it to like say you turn into a collector over 2 years, but it might have been on your mind 4 years ago, you know? So
Right.
I don't know, like I would think, like, because a lot of people try to judge, and all this by perception anyway. But it's kind of like, if what's a sneakerhead? Somebody who has more than how many shoes? People judge sneakerheads by, you gotta have a lot of sneakers. But you got some people who got like 10 sneakers, 10, 15 sneakers, and they're not less than a sneakerhead. They just buying what they want. They buying what they need instead of going out and buying, because you got to think, the black and white colorway is in damn near all the silhouettes. The red and black colorway is in all the silhouettes. So if I'm like conscious of what I got going on, why get let's just say, for instance, you get the infrared 6s, then turn around and get the flu games. Then you turn around and you get the I don't know, the cement threes, or you do certain things like that. Like, yeah, the style is different and everything like that. But if I got a black and red shoe, why do I need another black and red shoe? If I got this colorway, why do I need to get another colorway? Does that make that person less than a sneakerhead? Because what I accumulated over time is like 15 or 20 pairs compared to this man over here who got 500 pairs. And I get more wear out of mine. You won't get no more wear out of your 500 pairs. Even if you wear them pairs every day for a year, I still get more wears out of my sneakers than you. So I would look at the person with the, don't kill me now, but I'm just saying the person with the smaller collection, I would look more so like if they was really into the game like that. The smaller collection to me is kind of better. And like y'all know, I always downsize my collection. I never want my sneakers to be over 100, over 75. I feel like you get to that point, it's kind of like, then what?
I think like when you think about like the size of collection, like I've said it to Brazy before, you know, and his lady, and like I'm getting more into curating and collecting. You know, like, you know, when you look up curation, it's, you know, putting together something using knowledge. You know, I think there was a time, like especially over this past year, I was just buying stuff because it was there and it was available. I was like, oh, I kind of like these. Let me grab that. And then next thing you know, I'm sitting on all these pairs, and I'm like, man, I don't even feel like wearing these. I don't even really like the allure has kind of like rubbed off. I don't even want to wear these anymore. So I started getting rid of stuff that like I didn't feel as strong of a connection to, and just only keeping things that I have a strong connection to. You know, so that's, you know, that's when I downsized my collection. So like I agree with you. I don't think you need to have a massive collection to be a sneakerhead. I think really what a sneakerhead should be is somebody that just legit has a passion for sneakers. Like when I talk to people about sneakers, they look at me like, man, you really like shoes? And I'm like, yes. Yes, I really, really like shoes. Like I spend an inordinate amount of time looking at them, researching them. You know, it's just something that I'm really into, and it's something I've been into since East Bay, you know, used to come out. And I remember looking at East Bays. I remember seeing Jordans in East Bay. Like most people can't even fathom. Most people like don't even know what the hell East Bay is, especially a lot of the new cats. But I agree, you know, with you bees that, you know, having a smaller collection dialed in on what you really, really like is where it's at, and getting wear out of them too. Like I don't like having shoes that I haven't worn in a long time. Like to me, if I haven't worn them in a long time, I don't think it has anything to do with how many sneakers I have. I think it has something to do with how I feel about them. Because I got sneakers that I really, really like, and I wear them. I keep telling myself, oh, I'm gonna put these fogs in a box. They still just come out because I like them. You know, so I mean, it's, you know,
Yeah, I
rock 'em.
think that's what makes somebody a sneakerhead to me. I have to agree with you on that because, man, to me it's like you said, it's a passion for sneakers, man. I can remember the first time when I was a little kid that I saw somebody with a pair of Jordan 3s on. I remember the first time I saw a pair of Jordan 4s. I remember the first time I saw a pair of Jordan 6s. You know, like, so like there's like a literal like emotional attachment for me to each one of these sneakers. And it doesn't have to be Jordans. I remember how people used to rock the Reebok Classics. I remember how there was a time when people used to rock the Fila's with the straps. I remember when people, you know, when Air Force Ones was real, real hot. I remember like all these different shoes. And to me, I'm like about that culture. I'm about the statement that like it represents. I love the fact that if you go to a certain part of the country, you're gonna find somebody that believes like a certain shoe is really hot, you know, where you at in that part of the country. I love that if you go to the West Coast, some Chuck Taylors means more to them over there than it might mean to somebody on the East Coast. I love that if you go to New York, you know, a pair of Air Force Ones means something different to them up there. I love if you go to the DC area that a pair of foam posits means something different to somebody in that area. You know what I mean? That's what it's about to me, man. Like it's really it's a statement, it's a culture, and I feel like knowing about that means something to me. No matter how many pairs of shoes I have, you know, I just love sneakers.
Facts.
I got another one from the chat. Let me see. NGF F30 says, do you feel the Lannies? What did Lannies get slept on? Lannies from 5.
Oh, talking about the
I think they dope. in my opinion. I think they dope.
Well, I
And
mean,
I think
for
a
me,
lot of
like
time,
I'm not in the fives really, like, you know, but the colorway, like for me, you know, that being, you know, his high school colors, you know, still to this day, you know, I'm able to attach when I hear Laney, I'm able to attach the struggle that he had trying to make the varsity team to play with his brother and getting cut and demoted down to B team or JV. No, so when I see Laney's, that's what I think of. Like, I don't think a lot of people gonna jump on it because some colors might throw them off. I think a lot of these people out here nowadays, it's easier to go with a bread colorway or black and white colorway or whatever else the case may be. But I think I have a sneaky suspicion that they probably gonna get slept on. It's gonna be sad. It's just like the He Got Games, like another shoe that had like some meaning to it. They're just gonna sit and it's gonna be like, do y'all not realize like what this is? And a lot of people gonna be like, no, I just don't like the colors.
but if they had put some hype behind it, it would have been a different story.
But I don't think there's an ability to really put hype behind it unless, you know, Nike and Jordan Brand decides to limit how many pairs they're gonna release. You know, then let people know that. Then people gonna get in a tizzy because now, oh, it's gonna be limited. Now I can flip so I can buy a pair of Red Octobers. It's like I don't know. I don't think that story. I think the whole Laney colorway is gonna miss a lot of people, especially like a lot of the newbies.
Well, like I'm looking, there's two pairs, right? Of the Laneys. There's a blue pair and then there's a yellow pair, right?
Yeah, there's a white pair too, ain't it?
Well, the white pair is the pair that already dropped. I'm talking about. I might be wrong, but supposedly there's going to be a blue pair, and you know, mostly blue pair. Then there's going to be basically like a reverse of that pair. That's mostly yellow with the 23 on the side. That's what I'm looking at right now. I mean, I could be wrong, but
The yellow pair sounds like it'll be fire.
can anybody confirm that? Is that what it's supposed to be? Is it supposed to be two pairs? Is it just going to be the blue?
Well, I don't know. I didn't see the yellow pair, but I know the blue pair is already on Hibbett Sports for the raffle.
Man, them blue ones kind of go. Them blue ones go hard, man.
Yeah. I think they dope. I don't know what like 2019 it got better drops than last year. So it's kind of like, I don't know. You might and then with the sneaker community, man, it's like crazy. Like certain things you think will sit is going to sell, and then certain things you think that will sell may sit.
Bread toast.
I mean, there's a bunch of
man. The bread toast hard.
No, but remember when Bread Toast came out, we thought, oh, you know, these gonna be a shoe that's gonna be easy to get, so on and so forth. Hell no, it won't. Them mofos sold out quick.
Yeah. Just like the Concords a little bit, they put all them Concords out there, and a lot of people still miss. Still didn't get the pair. So it's like, I don't know, like. But then they do the same thing like with the Rookie of the Years and the Sports Illustrated. Everybody thought those were gonna be like some sneakers to go to, and they just was like whatever.
Hey man, like man, these Laney fives hard, bro.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now, man. There are no yellow. That was a previous thing I saw, but yeah, they hard. But I mean, but are you gonna cop them though?
Nope.
Oh yeah. I'm grabbing them. I think they fire.
Listen, they hard, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking at them. These are. You see the insoles in them, like, golly. See, this would have been a shoe that before I would have grabbed just because I could grab it, and then just put it in my collection. Like, oh, I got a pair of Laney fives, but I don't have like an actual connection to them. Hey, Wapo, how about the dude picture? His name is @ChickenWap. Is that you?
Oh no, Bob. Oh no.
I don't think they could have did the 11s because not 11s. I'm sorry. I don't think they could have did the white because they would have looked too much like the
first.
Is it the Shanghai's?
Yeah. What about them fours? What y'all think about them the black laser fours?
Some of the ones with the gum bottom.
Yeah.
I like gum bottom, man. I'm like, you know, I'm kind of biased towards any shoe that's gum bottom. I think they just look dope.
As of right now, I ain't fucking with them. I might have to see them thing in person, but right now, you can hang that shit up.
Yeah, like It's a dope shoe. I agree. It's a shoe I probably no look pass off the backboard to bees on.
I'm gonna catch it right off the rim. Hit him. Coming home. It is coming home. It's coming home.
I know you gonna yam that, bro. That's an easy one for you, bro.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
easy.
I
I can see you getting them.
I'm
not a Force guy.
Force with a gun.
Force
with a gun bottom, man. Come on.
See, I do like the colorway though. Like that's in my wheelhouse.
Yo, what else is dropping?
So they got those. Let me see.
Laser 4 is kind of hard.
Only thing I see, man. Oh, they got the Black History Month, the twos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's up with those? Man?
I caught them things.
They kind of fire.
I know, man.
They fire though.
I'm not a two guy, but
man, I've been this close to copping like 5 different pairs of twos, and I still have never pulled the trigger. Like
I want to get a pair. I heard they're comfortable.
Maybe these would be the ones. I don't know. Are these gonna be easy to get? Supposedly.
Probably not.
It don't have to be. I caught them.
But I don't know. Like a lot of people hate twos though. A lot of people hate twos, so I don't know.
Twos get a lot of hate, man. That was a shoe that almost made Jordan leave Jordan Brand, man. Like that's like he won't feel the twos too much, man.
Facts.
Yeah, and he broke his ankle that year, right?
Oh no, he broke like his foot or something like that. I think that was his first year.
Yeah, he didn't get to really wear the shoe like that. I think he didn't get to really wear them like that. They didn't gain the prominence that the ones gained and the threes gained. You know, I mean, to me, man, to a lot of people, man, Jordans are like Jordan 3s, man. You know, like Jordan 3s are like is the shoe that really changed the game. I mean, you know, not to knock ones because ones is where it's, you know, ones are that, you know, are what they are. But Jordans, like, you know, is when that Jumpman symbol, you know, popped off. That's what it's about to a lot of people. So I think the twos, to me, like, I'm not knocking the shoe, but it's not like a must have for me. You know, I told myself I want to get every like pair, you know, at least one pair of 1 through 14. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just, you know, I'm not gonna do it just to do it.
Facts.
2 pair of twos, bro. Them quads and them Black History gonna be the second one. Outside of that, y'all can hang them shit up too, man. I used to thought twos were very fucking dope, but yeah, them boys shoot me in my foot with that one.
Yeah, them 54s is kind of clean.
Oh,
man, let me take another look at these Black History Month.
You ain't gotta take a look, Bubba. I got your back when they drop.
Already at them again,
They nice.
Man, hold up, man.
I kind of like them. I mean, but I ain't in love with them. I ain't gonna buy them though.
Yo, I'm about the materials too, man. Materials mean a lot to me on the shoe, man. Like, what is that? What is that on the front? Like what is that material right there? Is that leather? Yeah, I see that. That's like design. Like, what is this?
I'm not sure, man. That is a different type of material.
I'm looking at J23 has a post that has pretty good picture of the shoe all the way around. Those are dope, man.
Yeah, they nice.
I like how it kind of has like a kind of a theme to it. You know, they got a different colors on each shoe.
I like that. I like the BHM on one side, the Nike on one side and the back. I like that.
There's been some hard Black History Month, man. I feel like got slept on.
Yeah, I agree.
Like there's been some fire.
Based on what I see, I can't say, oh, I gotta have these, man. Who knows? I might see them, you know, I might see them in hand, and it changed my mind. But if they're limited, though, I may not ever get the opportunity to like see them in hand. By the time I decide that I do want them, maybe I, you know, won't feel like paying the price for them. So,
all right, I'm gonna do it to y'all boys. Pigeon's supposed to be coming out Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How y'all feeling about them?
That's a cop for me.
Yeah, I've never like this resurgence of SBs, man. Like I was never really into SBs, but like as I'm starting to see them, man, some of them things kind of cold, man. Like them lobsters was fire, and man, them pigeons. Like I was watching a video on them, and like the bottoms under the translucent sole is actually the newspaper clipping of like when people were going nuts. Like I was like, man, that's fire. That's fire. Like I love that, man. I love that.
They all fire, but I would have to send that to StockX, man. I can't lie.
Damn, that's fast.
Really? Wow. Really?
Yeah. I can't do dunks, man. I'm not saying that because I mean they fire now. They fire, just not me. They not me. I'm gonna go for them, but they taking.
Oh, they'll flip.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to the carpet.
Man, I mean, I've been waiting for these SBs for these dunks to come back. Like that's what I see happening this year. Like I really think like that's gonna happen. So I'm all for it, man. I'm all about it, man, because I feel like the dunks don't. But you know what? That whole conversation we was having about about sneakerheads and all that, or whatever. There's a lot of these people who really consider themselves true sneakerheads because they were on the dunks, like they were on the SB dunks like way back, and a lot of the stuff that that we see happening now with all the collaborations and all the colorways and all that, they've been doing that with SB dunks forever, man. They've been doing that for a long time, so they feel kind of like slighted, like disrespected, like it's something new somehow, what's going on, with these kicks now when they were already doing it and they kind of like didn't get the credit for it when they feel like they deserve it.
But didn't the Jordan 1 get their idea from the dunks?
Exactly.
That's where the Jordan 1 idea came from.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the.
No. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the name of the shoe, the Dunk, the Nike Dunk is the Nike Dunk High was Nike's like one of their main basketball shoes back then. That's what it was for.
Mm-hmm.
But like I remember not being a fan of Jordan 1s and just feeling like, oh, I could just get a pair of Air Force 1s. And believe it or not, my first pair of 1s was actually Black History Month 1s in 2016. And I kind of started to fall in love with the silhouette. I don't think it was that great of a shoe now looking back. But like that's where it started for me. And the same thing, I ain't really like dunks. I don't like the mid or high dunks. I like the lows. So like the lobsters, like the purple, the green. Like we was watching the unboxing the other day, like those green lobsters, man, like with them pink laces. My God, like I'm with that. So I'm starting to come around a little bit to dunks personally. The lows, which is weird for me because y'all know I don't like lows of anything. But those I think they're hard.
That's the same thing with me with the 1s. I hate 1s. I hate 1s all my whole time collecting. Never had a pair of 1s until them Royal 1s came out, 2016, when they retroed them. And I was like, finally had a chance to put them in hand and fell in love with them. Then after that was going for 1s. Still like on the fence with a lot of 1s that a lot of other people who love 1s will go for. I probably wouldn't go for. I'm probably like a hype beast, if you want to call it, with the 1s. I only like the 1s that's like hyped up. It's not really like I'm buying no mids, I'm buying no lows, none of that. OG high, and it gotta be if a story behind it, that's cool too. But just I don't know. I just with the 1s, I just know like my favorite silhouette is a 12. Story or no story, hype, no hype. I'm getting all the 12s. It don't even matter. But 1s is kind of like, do I want this type of thing? And there's certain ones that came out that I was like, oh, I need to get these. And it probably was the hype 1s or whatever, but that's my opinion on certain
I still need them gold top 3s, man.
You talking about the gold top 3?
Yeah, I still need them. Hey, shout out to Bees and Ten City for helping me get the gold toes. But man, I still need them. I need them gold toe top 3s, man.
Go ahead and bust the bag with them, bro.
I'm like you, Bees. I'm a hype beast on ones, man. Like I also kind of like identify with Brazy too. Like I've moved over to that SBB color blocking. Like I used to really want a pair of Breads. I really wanted a pair of Royals, but like I don't know. Like looking at, even though I'm not a huge Bredto fan, I do love the color blocking like on that shoe. Like I do. I really like that. Like a pair of Shatterback boards or would fragments be in that? Would they consider fragments to be in that same color blocking?
Fragments are like the black. They're like black toes basically with the
Like the
but they're blue instead. You know.
yeah, like so. Like I agree with you on that. Like anything that has that color blocking, I'm definitely down for.
Man, let me know when the Royal Toes drop though. Just let me know. Sign me
The
up.
Royal Toes, yeah, I'd rock with those. I would actually, yeah, I would be down with that. But I do want a pair of black toes though. Black toes to me that's my favorite one.
But that's something me and the Bees we was talking about earlier. We're talking about the SBBs. Like you were having a conversation with somebody about the SBBs, and they were saying those are like the greatest. Those are like the best ones ever, and you didn't think so. You were like, and you was like,
What?
you and him were the only. You were him were the only two people on planet Earth that don't
What SBBs, man? Wow. Yeah, I got. All right, I got to shut up. I need some popcorn.
I just think they take the SBBs and they make that like the top of all. Like what you know, like okay, that's my opinion now. The all sale ones got the same. Them just regular. Those were regular GR OG ones that had the same or even a better quality as the SBBs. So you saying all the SBBs is like whatever, but if you look at like the bread toes quality was wonderful as well.
But I don't think it was SBB quality though.
But what's SBB quality? A lot of people don't even have SBB to even compare the quality to.
Like the SBB, like I think for me, the SBBs are twofold. And I saw people was talking about it in the comments about a story being behind the shoe. The story behind the SBB to me is dope. Like him over there playing in the Italian league, you know, and actually we always think breaking backboards, we make that synonymous with Daryl Dawkins and Shaq. But like seeing Jordan rise up in that orange and breaking that glass, bruh, that to me was fire. Like that to me is probably one of Jordan's top plays. And then to put that on that silhouette with that quality, man, like I feel like it has the story, it has the look, it has the quality. I feel like it has everything that's necessary. Like a Bredto, there's not knocking a Bredto, but like Bredto, there's no story to a Bredto. It's just a great color.
No. Not the story.
It's a great colorway, but like
the story.
That's like the SBBs, man. Quality. That's that word.
I think Bees is talking about, because I think when people talk about the SBBs, man, their big thing that they say is the quality of it. Like they literally, if like a pair of ones drops, that's the first thing people ask. Is it shattered backboard quality? You know what I mean? Like that's the big thing. So like people must have seen some huge difference in the level of the quality. When those shattered backboards came out. I mean, stories are cool and everything, man, but like that doesn't mean a whole lot to me as far as the shoe is concerned. If I like a shoe, it's because I like the shoe. If there's a cool story behind it, that's like just kind of icing on the cake to me. The reason I think the SBBs are so dope is because I think that Nike finally got it right with the Jordan 1 by number one, putting nice quality leather on the shoe. You know what I mean? And then that color blocking that you was just talking about. I think because they decided to put the colors where they put them on the shoe, that made that shoe hot, made people want it. And then I think they did the same thing with the Bredto, same thing you see going on with the the pine greens, and then a couple other shoes that have come out, and they have figured a formula out that if you release a shoe, make it nice quality leather, and you put the color block in this area on the Jordan 1, people are gonna love it. And I think that's what's going on. And I think the shattered backboard is what started that. And I think that's the reason why people hold the shoe in like such high regard.
I had to take a step back. I see 10 City, man. Court purples?
Yeah, bro. You know, I'm a big ones fan though, but you know, like, and I can't knock no other ones because it's a lot of dope ones that came out. But if I had to pick, my number one would be the Cold Purples, dog. Like dead ass.
That I think the for me the number one was taken over by the Union ones. Like the quality on that shoe is like otherworldly, man. I thought something of them because I'm a big Black Toe fan, and that Black Toe, Union I thought was fire. But being able to see them in hand, like the quality in that shoe, my God, man, it's insane.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
now go ahead.
People try to compare everything to the SBB quality, but a lot of people don't have the SBB in hand to even compare some of this stuff. So a lot of this stuff they're going off what other people saying.
True. That's true. I mean, I don't even own a pair of SBBs. I mean, I've had a couple pairs in hand or whatever, but the price is so high. Well, you know what? I gotta be honest. I completely slept on the shattered backboards when they dropped. I could have got a pair if I wanted a pair when they dropped. Nobody was checking for the shattered backboards when they came out. It wasn't like it was just hard to get shoe. People were acting like that. People realized after the fact, what the shoe was, and that's why it is what it is now. So I want to be clear about that. But when I've seen that shoe, the quality is really, really nice. But I mean, there's a bunch of Jordan ones that I think the quality is really good on. Those, like, I just saw somebody talk about those Rookie of the Years that just came out. Those Rookie of the Years, man, the quality on that shoe is, man, that's up there, man. I mean, that's really up there. I just got a pair of those Sports Illustrated. Those A Star Is Born. The quality on that shoe is really, really up there, man.
Yeah. The Star Is Born quality was, that was good. That was good quality.
I like what you did with yours, though, man. Like, I don't know why Jordan didn't just release that shoe. I don't know why they felt the necessity to put the Milwaukee Bucks colors on the check.
The story, you said before, the story.
But no, but you could have had. You could have had that shoe, but like once you took that stitching off, like that actual shoe that was there, that's probably, to me, and I know, me and Brazy, we've talked about it, he disagreed, but like to me that was like one of the best looking ones I've ever seen. Like I love that shoe. I bet they probably could have went about. I don't think they needed to do the story with the threading of the Milwaukee Bucks on the check, but the shoe that's underneath that thread is so much more fire than what they actually released. Like it's not even close, in my opinion.
Well, I tell people that's the only reason I got that shoe. The only reason I got that shoe was because Bees posted a picture of somebody removing the thread on the shoe, and then a few days later I saw a video of somebody with it done on feet, and I literally, I tried to go to the mall, but it was closed. To grab a pair, so I went the very next day, grabbed a pair of the Sports Illustrated, and removed it. So that's the only reason I even had the shoe. And they might just drop that colorway just because, just because it's dope. Like I don't know why they haven't up to this point. Like until I actually saw that, you would have thought that they would have dropped that colorway at some point. And but then when you look back and look at all the Jordan 1s, they just haven't for some weird reason. And it seems like it makes so much sense. It's like black, white, and red. Like, I mean, goodness, if you like Jordans, how many pair of black, white, and red shoes do you have? Like who would think that they hadn't done that yet? But they haven't.
Okay. 313 Retro Queen said if they put that quality on the breads first instead of the SBBs, then the breads would have been a staple of comparison. And if they did that, would the SBBs be talked about as much as they are now? If the quality came with the breads first.
No, because I think the buzz really came from the quality. That's where the buzz came from. The buzz came from the quality. So I don't think it would have mattered as much which colorway it would have been on. If it would have been on the breads, obviously I think it would have been, magnified because people already have such an attachment to the breads. But it was the quality that created the stir. I don't think it was necessarily the colorway because orange, white, and black It's definitely not a colorway you think of when you think Jordan.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a really good question by Queen because that's what it's all about, man. I feel like it was this like discovery, man. Like people got those shoes in hand, and I think I think a big part of this has to do with what Nike was doing for a while. Like people were complaining about the quality, man. Like Nike's quality was falling off for a minute, man. So people were surprised when they made that Jordan 1 and the quality was so high on that shoe.
I don't think it's fair to compare Louis V leather quality to Jordan's. Queen.
That's how people. Oh man, we don't got that. We don't got that Louis V money like that, bro. Like,
yeah, I like the flex too, though. Like I like the flex.
Yeah, like there. My Louis V bag. I like that.
I see what you did there, Queen.
All right. So we got anything else? Anything else y'all want to add?
Man, I feel like this was a pretty good rap session, man. I can't really think of anything.
Yeah. For sure. Our first live, we did pretty good. We did pretty good.
For sure. So, hey, yo, ain't nobody copping anything that's about to drop, man. I know I'm gonna try to get. I'm definitely trying to get a pair of those pigeons when they drop. You know, we'll see how. You know, like we'll see what happens with that. Nobody else got something else on their radar that's coming up.
Nah, well, you know me. I don't think my tends come out to like later on this year, but as of right now, I ain't really caught me nothing brand new. I probably re-up in the stash on some old shit that I've been looking at.
That's gonna be my year too. I'll be doing a lot of picking up on stuff that I didn't get. Man, you know what? I am excited about one shoe, and I know I'm really anxious to see what y'all think about it. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a Jordan that's coming out, and it has like a translucent upper and an Epic React sole that's supposed to be dropping, I think, toward the end of the month. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
I think the only thing I'm going for is I'm gonna try for them Black History months. I'm for sure getting those 4s.
Oh yeah.
I'm en route now to flip a couple of these, and I'm gonna go get those UNC off-white ones. So
yeah. We you know what? We had that whole conversation about ones, and nobody said anything about off like that's hold. Like, I don't know if you can do that, man. Because those Chicago's, man, those might be number one to me, man. And I got a pair of Unions, but those off whites are crazy.
Those, then they have this right here. And I know like that's gonna.
Those are the ones. Okay.
Yeah, those to me.
We've been talking about those for a while.
Yeah, I think those are fire. Like,
they look pretty dope.
I gotta have those. Gotta have them.
Yo, it's a couple questions that people had, man, on here. I see Breezy Quick. I'm sorry, Breezy Kicks. He said, what y'all think of non-OG marketed Jordan 1s? He says, I personally don't like them and absolutely hate when people act like they are OG retro kicks when they retail at $89.
Oh,
wow.
That's hard to be admitted.
You talking about the mids and stuff like that? The mids?
Tell me how you really feel. Yeah, I think he's talking about the mids.
Top threes they brought out for kids that are mids and are absolutely abominable.
I'm gonna have to agree there, Breezy, man. Like that's I feel you, bro. We feel the same way.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
I do like my Gatorade ones though, mostly because of the color.
Yo, JP said, does tumbled leather make us feel it is better than the smooth leather? I don't think it makes us feel. I think it just is, man. I think it just is better, man. When you're wearing the shoe, like when you're wearing the shoe, when you when you got that hard leather shoe, anybody that wore some sneakers growing up, man, you know when you got that hard leather shoe back in the day, you didn't even want to crease your shoe because you got that hard leather on it, man. And you know, after you wear that thing a couple times, man, you got that, you know, real hard crease in your shoe, man. That tumbled leather, man. You just feel like the shoe even looks better after you wear it after a while, man. That's just
like,
that.
I found that with these shadows, man. Like, I don't know how good y'all can see that, but like in there, man, it just
That's another shoe that was slept on that I couldn't understand why it was. Shadow
criminal
was super dope, and people slept on them.
Oh, man,
criminal.
I got mine. I got mine, man.
Yep.
That's all I know.
Facts. Got mine. Beautiful shoe, great colorway, quality. I don't think the quality was as good as like a bread toe or a rookie of the year, but still a real dope clean shoe.
09 shadows, yeah, you're right about that, Breezy too. Everybody talked about that. The 09
I mean,
shadows,
I'm not familiar with those. Are
well,
they?
everybody thought the shadows was going to be crazy. You know, I mean, I don't know how much a pair of those will like run you now, but the ones were like highly sought after, and people thought that when they dropped these shadows, it was going to be the same way. But I guess people just, I don't know. I mean, I can't explain it, man. I don't understand, man. I can't understand why. Like I said earlier, I cannot understand why some shoes that I can walk into any shoe store right now in the mall are sitting there. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Because there's all year long, I saw some shoes that were just dope shoes, great quality, and nobody wanted to buy them. Like I don't know why.
Hype.
Facts.
It's all hype. It's whatever somebody was talking about the most. And I think the exception to that was the bread toe. I don't think there was a ton of hype around the bread toe. I think they dropped at the right time too. They dropped like right at tax season, you know, so people had that money, and then they started copying. It was like, oh damn, like these are actually like these are really fine. Like the quality is good. So I think, you know, bread toes, they didn't have a whole ton of hype, but like they sold out like hotcakes. And then you have like a shadow one that you can just go pick up, you know, a gold toe one that you can just go pick up. And I was like, damn, like I thought gold toes was gonna go like way higher than bread toes, but bread toes are like ridiculous right now. It's insane.
Remember you was calling those the tax check ones?
Yep, the tax check ones, baby. I still call them that. Still call them that. There was another shoe that dropped around tax time too, man. I remember we went out and everybody had them on,
the Master 12s.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago. Yeah, but there was like last year. There was a shoe that dropped right with the bread toes. I think it was a 13, and I felt like everybody had those things
blue
on.
Ones, those white and blue.
Yeah.
Blue, man.
Yeah,
the Game Royal. Yeah.
Game Royal, yeah. And the Bread Nines came behind that, or around that time too. The Bread Nines,
Bread Nines
was a week before, a week after, or something like that. Yeah,
Bread Nines, yep. And
man,
everybody had those things on.
I remember those 13s. I think we went out like that night that they went, and we went to some spot, man. And I know we saw like at least 6 people in that spot with those 13s on in the same spot.
The spot next to the Jamaican place, man.
Don't put yourself out there.
Yes, sir. Noted.
That one
spot. They were everywhere.
We was at that one spot.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I remember there being like, I think there was like a group of like 6 dudes, man. Like they all had them on. I was like,
everybody, man.
I was like, well, not even that fire. Like, I was like, okay.
That's another shoe though. That's another shoe that shoe dropped a few years ago, when they weren't dropping, you know, a new pair of J's every single week, or like 2 or 3. A few years ago, that shoe would have been hot. That shoe would have sold out.
Facts. All right, well, I'm all out, man. I good.
We can wrap up, man. Give y'all shout outs.
So who we shouting out?
Who we shouting? Oh man.
Sign out. Just sign out. My bad.
Man, shout out to my sneaker plug because I don't got one, but I'm taking applications. Wherever you may be, holla at your boy, holla at me.
Damn. As far as shout outs, man, sure. I gotta shout the squad out. I gotta shout y'all boy out. I know last year, damn, 10 City and Bees helped me pick up a lot of stuff. Damn. I mean, that's really about it, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. 2018 was a doozy. Like the amount of heat that we collected as a group last year was nuts, man. So shout out to y'all, boy, man. We had a good year, man. Hit me up on the IG though. FATBOYCLEANSNEAKS _ for the sneaker page. Holla at me.
Nice, man. Shout out to the camp. Shout out to the whole Sneaker Anonymous squad, all y'all, boy. This is dog TENCITYJD at TENCITYJD. Come follow me on that IG.
And the Sneakerholicbeez. And I'm out.